All right, hey guys, this is your help video to get you through your adding and subtracting fractions review. As you're working, you can pause this video. I'm going to be moving pretty quickly through things, so you can pause this as you're working out your problems, check your answers kind of as you're going, and then kind of come back and push play again. So just fill out this whole first part of the form all the way through your academic honesty promise, and then it'll start to open up your questions. So number one, it says yesterday Maria walked 1/4 of a mile. Today she walked 1/8 of a mile farther than she did yesterday. How far did Maria walk today? So I need to think about 1/4, and I need to add on 1/8 because she's walking further. I'm going to do an LCM and I'm going to get common denominators. I have 4 and 8. I know in my 4s, my next one is going to be 8, so my LCM is 8. Those become my denominators. I'm going to think about what I have to multiply by. In the 4s, it's times 2. I'm going to do that to the top. 2 times 1 is 2. And this side is times 1. It's going to keep it the same. 1 times 1 is 1. So I have 2/8 plus 1 more eighth would be 3/8. So she walked 3/8 of a mile. So that's going to be B. On number 2, we have to answer this question. We first need to find an LCM. I have 24 and 8. In my 8s, I'm going to hit 24. It's going to go 8, 16, 24. It's the third one. So I'm going to get denominators of 24s. I'm still adding. And the 24 on the 24 side is going to be times 1. So times 1 times 1. 1 times 5 is 5. On the 8 side, it's times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So I have 5 24ths plus 15 24ths. 5 plus 15 is 20. So I have 20 24ths. These have a common factor. It's not on there as my answer yet, and that means I need to simplify still. So 4s can go into both of these. So I'm going to divide them on top and bottom by 4. 4 fits into 25 times, and 4 fits into 24 6 times. Here is my final answer in simplest form is 5/6. So I want A. So you're finding LCM, you're doing your common denominators, you're showing your multiplication, you're getting your answer, and if you have to simplify, you're doing that as well. All right, number 3, Anna's math book is 1 1/8 inches thick, and her spelling book is 2.5 inches thick. She's going to put her math book on top of her spelling book, and she's going to measure those two books together. How thick is the stack? That would be adding. So I'm going to take 1 1/8, and I'm going to add 2 1/2. I'm going to get these into improper fractions, what we were doing today. So I'm going to multiply on the bottom, I'm going to add on the top. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So I have 9/8 plus, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Multiply on the bottom, add on the top. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. And I'm going to keep my halves, my 2 on the bottom. All right, now I need my LCM. I need an LCM with 8 and 2. 2s are going to go 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 is eventually going to be my common denominator because it's my LCM. So I'm going to rewrite my fractions with 8s in the bottom. This one is times 1. 9 times 1 is 9. And this one is times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So I have 9/8 plus 20/8. 9 plus 20 will be 29. 29/8. I'm going to do my long division to get it back into a mixed number. So I'm thinking about how many times 8 will fit into 29. 8 goes into 29 3 times, which is 24. 29 minus 24 is 5 leftovers. So this is 3 and 5/8. Whole number 3 was the top and 5/8. So I want B. Lots of work on that one. Question 4 is find the difference. So you could do this a couple of ways. You could put 3 over 1. So I'm dealing with two fractions. And then find common denominators. I have LCM that I need to find between 1 and 5. Eventually in the ones, I'm going to hit 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my LCM are going to be 5s. This side will stay a 4 because it's in the first position. And this side has to be multiplied by 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. So I have 15 fifths minus 4 fifths, which would make 11 fifths. And so I'm going to do my long division and figure out how many times 5 will fit into 11. It's going to fit in twice for 10, and it's going to have 1 left over. So this is 2 and 1/5. 2 and 1/5, B. Number 5, Tony hiked 1/4 of a mile on Monday and a half of a mile on Tuesday. How far did he hike on Monday and Tuesday combined? So 1/4 combined, so plus 1/2. I'm going to do an LCM between 4 and 2. The next one of my 2's will be a 4, so my LCM is 4. On this side, I have to multiply by 1. I'm going to do it to the top. 1 times 1 is 1. On this side, I have to multiply by 2. So times 2 on the top would make 2. 1/4 plus 2/4 is 3/4. So combined is going to be 3/4 of a mile, which is C. Number 6, we have 7/12 plus 1/6. We're going to do LCM between 12 and 6. The next of my 6's is going to be 12. So my LCM is going to be 12. Those are going to be my denominators. I'm adding. On this left side, it's times 1. Already has 12. So that's going to keep 7/12. On the right side, it's going to be times 2. 1 times 2 will be 2. So I have 7/12 plus 2/12 will be 9/12. It's not an option, doesn't mean I'm wrong. It means I need to simplify. 3 can go into both. My common factor, 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So 3/4 is my final answer, C. Number 7, we need to solve. We've got these mixed numbers. So we could go through and convert them into improper fractions, or I can try and go straight off of my fraction form here and think about an LCM for 16 and 2. So if I think about an LCM with 16 and 2, eventually in my 2's, I know I'm going to hit 16. It's going to be the 8th one because 8 times 2 is 16. So if I multiply this by 8, I would also do it to the top. Then I'm going to have these numbers. I'm going to have 5 and the 1/16 that I had originally. And I'm adding, I still have the whole number 3. But now my new fraction is going to be 8/16. So I'm going to keep the whole numbers, and I could add the whole numbers. And then I'm going to add the fractions. 1/16 plus 8/16 would be 9/16. So I could call this 8 and 9/16. Just makes it a little bit easier since I have such big numbers in my denominators with the 16 instead of having to convert them to improper fractions. Number 8, Melissa's plant was 3/8 of a foot tall. After a week, it grew another 2/8 of a foot. How tall was Melissa's plant at the end of the week? So it was 3/8. It grew another 2/8. So 3/8 plus 2/8 is going to make it 5/8. Remember, denominators stay the same, so 5/8 of a foot. Question 9, 3 4/7 plus 5. Again, you can just add the whole number parts. So 3 plus 5 would make 8, and then put the fraction back on. 8 4/7. This is totally legal when you're dealing with mixed numbers, so long as you have common denominators. There was no fraction over here, so I can just add the whole number parts. Number 10, Aaron mixes 1½ cups of grape juice concentrate with 4 3/5 cups of water to make grape juice. Which pitcher is big enough to hold her mixture? She's mixing these two things together. So I had 1 1/2. I'm mixing it, so I'm adding it with 4 3/5. So I'm going to go ahead and find improper fractions. So I'm going to multiply on the bottom. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. Multiply on the bottom, add on the top. Remember, my denominator stays the same. And I'm going to add. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 more would be 23. Denominator stays fifths. I don't have common denominators yet, so I would do my LCM with 2 and 5. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5, 10. 10 is my LCM. So I'm going to write my denominators. The 2 is times 5. I'm going to do that also to the top. 3 times 5 is 15. And this side is times 2. 23 times 2 would be 46. I'm ready to add. So 15 plus 46. It's going to be 61 tenths. I'm going to do the long division and figure out how many times 10 can fit into 61. It's going to fit in 6 times for 60 with 1 left over. So I need to have something that's going to fit at least 6 1/10 cups of juice. So if I think about my options here, a 4-cup pitcher is too small, a 5-cup is too small, a 6-cup is even too small because I have 1/10 still here that would need to fit in. So the only pitcher that's big enough to hold everything would be a 7-cup pitcher. Number 11, Haley lives 1/8 of a mile from the library. Angela lives 1/4 of a mile farther from the library than Haley. And Chloe lives 5/6 of a mile farther from the library than Angela. How far from the library does Chloe live? Well, each student is living progressively farther. So it's like taking all of these and adding them together. So I have 1/8, 1/4, and 5/6. You can add 3 fractions at a time without having to do just 2 at a time and then the second one. And you can do that by finding an LCM of all 3 numbers. So I'm going to deal with LCMs for 8, 4, and 6 all at the same time and find something that's in common. 8s go 8, 16, 24. 4s go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And 6s go 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 is the first thing that I'm seeing that's showing up in all of my lists. So I'm going to make denominators with 24. And I'm going to need 3 of them because I have my 3 fractions. And I'm adding. I'm going to do my multiplication. I'm going to figure out what I need to multiply by along the side. So on the 8s, I needed 3 of them. So times 3. I'm going to do it to the top. 3 times 1 is 3. On the 4s, I need 6 of them. So I'm going to do times 6. 6 times 1 is 6. On the 6s, I need 4 of them. So times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So I have common denominators. I'm ready to add. So 20 plus 6 plus 3 would be 29. 24ths. And that option is available. So I'm going to go with A. Number 12. Again, I have 3 fractions going on. I can do the LCM with all of them at the same time. So I'm going to do 3, 4s, and 2s. 3s go 3, 6, 9, 12. 4s go 4, 8, 12. And I know 12 is also going to show up in the 2s because it's even. So it's going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So my LCM is 12. So I'm going to rewrite my fractions with 12s in the bottom. I need 3 of them. It looks like I'm adding on the first one, but then I'm subtracting on the second one. So I want to make sure I get those written correctly. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do my multiplication. So in the 3s, I need 4 of them. So this one's times 4, times 4. 4 times 1 is 4. In my 4s, I need 3 of them. So this one's times 3 in the middle. 3 times 3 is 9. And in my 2s, it's going to be 6. I need 6 of them. So this is times 6. 1 times 6 is 6. I'm going to work left to right within my fractions now. So 4 twelfths plus 9 twelfths would be 13 twelfths minus 6 twelfths. So 13 minus 6 would be 7. 12ths stay 12ths. So D. Okay, number 13, again, I can do an LCM, but I'm going to use all 3 numbers. So I have an LCM, and I'm going to do it for 4, for 7, and for 2. Fours are going to go 4, 8, 12, 16. Nothing I have is working with 7 yet, so I'm going to keep going. 20, 24, 28. 28 works with 7s. 7s go 7, 14, 21, 28. 2s will also go up to 28. It's going to be 14 times. So I'm not going to write them all because I'm going to run out of space. But I know eventually I'm going to hit 28, and I know it's the 14th one. So my denominators are going to be 28s. All of them are additions. So I'm going to make sure I get my right operation. And then I'm going to think about what do I multiply by. In the 4s, it's the 7th one to get to 28. So this is times 7. 3 times 7 would be 21. In the 7s, it's times 4 to get to 28. So the middle is times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. And in the 2s, we said it's going to be 14. So we're going to multiply by 14. So 1 times 14 would be 14. So I have 21 plus 8 plus 14. So let's see, that's 29 plus 14. Looks like 43. 28ths. I have an improper. I'm going to do long division and figure out how many times 28 is going to fit into 43. It's only going to go once. I'm going to think about my leftovers. I have 15 left, so it's going to be 1 and 15 28ths. D. Number 14, Mrs. Comello is making a quilt. The colored squares in the diagram below show the fraction of the quilt that is complete. What fraction of the quilt is complete? So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of them are shaded in. Out of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Their 13 24ths is completed. Number 15, Aiden and Jet completed 1/6 of the class mural. Mateo and Robert completed 2/7 of the class mural. What fraction of the class mural did the boys complete in all? So in all is my addition. 1/6 plus 2/7. Common denominators for 6 and 7 is going to end up being 42. It's taking this side times 7. And it's taking this side times 6. 2 times 6 was going to make 12. And so 7 plus 12 would make 19. 42. So D. Number 16, John ate 1/3 of a chocolate bar and Sandy ate 1/6 of the same chocolate bar. What fraction of the whole chocolate bar did John and Sandy eat together? Together I'm adding, so 1/3 plus 1/6. Common denominators between 3 and 6 are going to be 6's. 6's is the number that you're going to show up. This side is going to be times 2. Once you do your LCM chart, you'll see that. 2 times 1 is 2. This side is going to be times 1. 1 times 1 is 1. They're going to eat 3/6 of it. That's not there as an option because it needs to be simplified. So 3 can go into both. And I'm getting 1/2. So D. Number 17, which equation shows a solution to 2/3 plus 7/8? When I think about an LCM for 3 and 8, eventually my 3's and 8's are going to hit a 24. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. And 8's go 8, 16, 24. So 24 is the common denominator choice, which means I'm down to these two options. When I think about what I have to multiply by, in the 3's, to get up to 24, it's times 8. So this side is times 8. If I do that to the top, 2 times 8 is going to make 16 24ths. And automatically, I can eliminate all the other options. I know I'm not going to use 11ths. I was down to these two, and there's only one that has 16 24ths. It's right here. So C is my choice. Use elimination like that to help you with these. Number 18, at a pizza party, the kids ate 5/8 of the cheese pizza. That's this part right here. And 3/4 of the pepperoni pizza. I see fourths by splitting it this way. And yep, I see 1, 2, 3 of the fourths. How much of the pizza did they eat in all? So I see how many total pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total pieces. And there are 8 pieces in the entire thing. So in one whole piece, there's 8. So they ate 11/8 of the pizza. All right, number 19 is to subtract. We need to find an LCM with 8 and 6. 8s go 8, 16, 24. 6s go 6, 12, 18, 24. So 24s are going to be your common denominators. I'm subtracting. I'm going to think about what I have to multiply by. In the 8s, it's times 3. So 3 times 7 is 21. In the 6s, it's times 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. So 21 24ths minus 20 24ths would only leave you with 1 left over. 1 24th. And I think this is our last one. Which equation shows a solution to 5 6 minus 3 fourths? So I'm going to think about LCM with 6 and 4. I know 10 is not going to be a common factor, or sorry, a common multiple. It's going to be either 12, or if I continue up my LCM chart, 24s would also work. So if I think about 24s, 6s go 6, 12, 18, 24. That's 4 times. And in the 4s, it goes 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, which is 6 times. So I'm going to use those to do my multiplication on my fractions up above. So this side is times 4, times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. So I've got 20 24ths. And just by elimination, I know that it has to be D because the other one that I was looking at didn't have 20 24ths in it. Okay, hopefully this was helpful to help you go through and review some problems before your test.